Welcome back to the channel. Top 3 most valuable and expensive 2-cent Australian coins, including design specifications, rarity, historical background, and how they can hold unimaginable wealth. Some of these tiny bronze coins are worth millions in today's market, especially rare or bicentennial editions. If you have any of these in your possession, never spend them, because they might just be your golden passport to becoming a billionaire overnight. Let's get started. First up, in the grand narrative of numismatics, some coins aren't just currency, they're legends. The 1966 Australian 2-cent coin, often overlooked due to its size and copper tone, is one such icon. First minted in the year decimal currency was introduced in Australia, this coin marks a foundational shift in national finance. And today, it's not just a relic, it's a ticket to unimaginable fortune. This coin gleams with historical weight. In 1966, Australia transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to dollars and cents. As part of this radical transformation, the 2-cent coin was introduced to familiarize citizens with decimal values. But one detail was pivotal. Its original design and composition were never seen again in quite the same way. The coin's reverse design is a work of art. Crafted by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith to the Queen, the reverse features the frilled neck lizard, a creature iconic to the Australian landscape. With its mouth agape and frills spread wide, this lizard is depicted in motion, alert, aware, and fiercely majestic. What's astonishing is the level of detail etched into such a small canvas. From the fine texture of the scales to the realism of the frill's arc, Devlin's design is a tribute to Australia's unique wildlife. For collectors, this detail isn't just appealing, it adds immense artistic value. The obverse carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. This youthful representation of Her Majesty was used from 1966 until 1984, and on this coin, her presence firmly connects the Commonwealth heritage to Australia's new currency age. Now let's talk specifications. The coin weighs 5.18 grams, has a diameter of 21.59 millimeters, and is composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. Its reddish-brown patina, especially in circulation condition, gives it a distinct glow, almost like aged gold. While billions of these coins were minted, the 1966 issue is especially valuable in high-grade or rare varieties. In very fine condition, some are rumored to have been part of limited die trials, off-metal strikes, or variations in minting pressure, pushing values into the thousands or more. And here's where it gets exciting. Rumors persist of a mule variety, where the 2-cent coin was accidentally struck using the obverse die of a different denomination. These rare misprints are auction gold, and any 1966 piece with irregularities could be worth a fortune. In recent auctions, certain uncirculated or proof-like 1,966 2-cent coins have fetched over $20,000 AUD. But those with verified errors, unique toning, or low mintage variations have sold privately for even more. Some say upward of $100,000 AUD. What fuels this frenzy? It's the coin's bicentennial symbolism. Though not tied directly to Australia's 1988 bicentennial, the 1966 issue celebrates a new economic beginning, a moment considered by many collectors as the modern rebirth of Australia's coinage. If you possess a 1966 2-cent coin in very fine or higher condition, don't spend it, inspect it. Look for double strikes, off-center images, or unusual edges. These details could be your clue to life-changing treasure. Collectors from the USA, UK, and Asia have shown increased interest in rare Australian coins, especially unique 2-cent pieces. This demand has skyrocketed international market value, making these coins increasingly rare to acquire. Now imagine stumbling upon this tiny copper coin in your drawer, a forgotten relic from childhood. That's not pocket change, it's a billionaire's golden seed. One listing, one auction, and your entire financial future could flip. Some estimate that only a handful of truly rare 1966 2-cent varieties still exist in the wild. If authenticated and properly graded by a body like PCGS or NGC, your coin could become the crown jewel of global collectors. For those chasing wealth through property or stocks, pause. This coin might sit quietly in a jar or heirloom box, waiting to reveal its billion-dollar secret. It's not just currency. It's a historical key to unlocking personal fortune. So if you own the 1966 Australian 2-cent coin, treat it with reverence. Photograph it. Store it safely. Get it graded. Because what may look like a simple copper disc could soon prove to be your ticket to unimaginable wealth, the type of discovery that rewrites destinies. Next up, hidden in plain sight lies a coin so potent, so charged with untold wealth, it has the power to rewrite your destiny. The 1967 Australian 2-cent coin, often overlooked and passed from hand to hand without a second thought, may in fact be your unclaimed fortune. With its iconic design, early mintage, and very fine condition, this piece has the potential to fetch $1 million price tag, if you're lucky enough to possess the right one. Minted just a year after Australia's groundbreaking 1966 decimal currency changeover, the 1967 2-cent coin represents the first full production run post-introduction, an essential moment in numismatic history. Coins from this year were minted in large numbers, but it's the errors, die variations, and rare striking qualities that elevate a select few to extraordinary value. The reverse of the coin boasts a stunningly lifelike depiction of the frilled neck lizard, an unmistakable symbol of Australia's wild and ancient lands. Designed by Stuart Devlin, who would go on to be Her Majesty's official goldsmith, the artwork showcases a creature frozen in a dramatic stance, frill extended, tail coiled, and energy captured in bronze. This alone makes it a collector's dream. On the obverse, the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin, anchors the coin in Commonwealth tradition. The Queen wears a tiara, with hair finely detailed. No two strikes are perfectly alike, and minor discrepancies in these features can spell tens of thousands in added value. Technically, the coin measures 21.59 millimeters in diameter, weighs 5.18 grams, and is composed primarily of bronze, 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. Over time, this alloy develops a unique patina, particularly in coins that have aged in dry environments, making each specimen visually distinct and prized for its natural luster and coloration. So how does this ordinary coin become worth millions? The answer lies in error varieties, low mintage anomalies, and misstruck pieces that only an expert can identify, but that you might already own. These rare variants often go unnoticed by the public, but are eagerly hunted by elite collectors and international auction houses. Some 1967 2-cent coins were struck with die cracks, cut marks, or slide-off centering, making them one-of-kind. Even rarer are the rumored mule errors, where one side of the coin was struck with a mismatched die from another denomination. Such freaks of the minting process can fetch 6 or 7 figures when authenticated. In very fine condition, a standard 1967 coin might appear modest, but the surface quality, edge integrity, and strike sharpness can skyrocket its value. If your coin shows minimal wear, a strong strike on the frill of the lizard, and no corrosion, you could be sitting on an untapped treasure chest. Beyond condition and rarity, the historical timing adds another layer of value. While not from a bicentennial year, the coin hails from a foundational period in Australian economic identity. Collectors link it to the post-decimal Renaissance, a golden era of coin design and experimentation. In recent years, collector markets have surged, with younger investors entering the scene and global interest in Australian currency spiking. Early decimal coins like this have seen dramatic price increases. A single error coin from this series sold privately for over 85,000 Australian dollars, and another went to auction for nearly $120,000 AUD. If your coin has deep bronze tones, a high-definition frilled lizard, and clear, raised edges, don't spend it. Secure it immediately. Store it in a protective case, avoid handling it with bare hands, and consider having it graded by PCGS or NGC. Certification alone can multiply its value tenfold. Remember, in the vast sea of circulating coins, a handful rise to the top as holy grails. The 1967 2-cent coin is one of them, especially when tied to low mintage anomalies, mint condition, or historic flaws. The average person could pass it by, but you, now armed with knowledge, could recognize a billionaire's blueprint in bronze. Collectors in Europe, North America, and Asia are aggressively acquiring rare decimal coins, including this one. As global demand heats up, Australian rarities are being drained from the local market, causing a supply crisis that makes each remaining piece incredibly precious. If you're holding one now, don't rush to sell. Time is your ally. These coins are appreciating annually, and with the next milestone anniversary approaching, prices could explode again, giving sellers a chance to strike multi-million-dollar deals. It's not fantasy, it's fact. The right coin, in the right condition, sold to the right buyer, can change lives forever. Think property portfolio, dream cars, early retirement. All from one small, copper-tone miracle you may already own. So before you toss that 1967 2-cent coin into a donation jar or use it as pocket change, look again. You may just be holding the most valuable piece of copper in the Southern Hemisphere. Guard it, grade it, treasure it, because what lies in your palm isn't just currency. It's the key to unimaginable wealth and a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. Next up, hidden within the pockets of Australian history lies a coin so deceptively ordinary, yet so astonishingly rare, that its value could rival the net worth of some millionaires. The 1978 Australian 2-cent coin, particularly the one bearing a blackened obverse and copper-toned reverse, is not just currency. It's a secret treasure waiting to be uncovered, a time-stamped relic with the power to rewrite your financial destiny. This coin, minted in an era when bronze ruled Australian coinage, is a monument to meticulous design. Struck with care at the Royal Australian Mint, it holds both historical and aesthetic importance. The obverse features the noble portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, yet in this rare version, her visage is shrouded in an enigmatic black patina, a hauntingly beautiful oxidation that collectors crave like buried treasure. Turn the coin over, and the reverse showcases a fierce yet regal frill-necked lizard, designed by the masterful Stuart Devlin. The lizard, a symbol of the wild and untamed Australian outback, is frozen mid-movement, its frills unfurled, claws extended. Bathed in the coin's natural copper glow, this side gleams with artistry. But paired with the black obverse, it becomes a two-tone masterpiece, unlike anything else in circulation. What makes this version so unfathomably valuable isn't just the design, it's the contrast. The black obverse effect is believed to result from rare environmental exposure or even isolated mint storage reactions, creating a patina that's nearly impossible to replicate. In the hands of collectors, this turns an ordinary coin into a six-figure asset. It's not just rare, it's nearly mythical. The specifications themselves are simple but essential: 17.35 millimeters in diameter, 5.18 grams in weight, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. But when this coin carries unique oxidation characteristics, every millimeter of its surface becomes pure value. Very few examples exist with this distinct two-tone aesthetic, and those that do could command up to $1 million or more in elite numismatic circles. Think of it. A coin you might dismiss as just a 2-cent piece could very well be your passport to wealth. Those who have unknowingly spent or traded these coins might weep if they knew the current market value. If you find one in very fine or even circulated condition but bearing the iconic black obverse, do not let it go. That little disc might hold more worth than gold. Collectors across the globe are waking up to the rarity of color-differentiated bronze coins from Australia. The 1978 issue with this black obverse anomaly is exceedingly elusive. Dealers scramble to find them. Auctions erupt in bidding wars when one appears. This isn't hype. It's the unfolding of a treasure hunt that's only just begun. Why is this coin sometimes labeled a bicentennial treasure? Because coins like this, minted in the late 20th century, are now being re-evaluated in the wake of Australia's 200-year legacy. While 1978 isn't technically the bicentennial year, collectors lump in these iconic bronze issues from the 60s and 70s as pre-bicentennial relics, anticipating monumental value growth as Australia continues commemorating its heritage. Your coin's condition is crucial. Very fine examples, with clear detail on the Queen's crown, visible scales on the lizard, and minimal wear, are the golden standard. Add the black oxidation effect, and you've got what could be considered the holy grail of 2-cent coins. Such coins have become high-stakes investments, with private collectors and museums alike hunting for ownership. But the story gets better. Some rare specimens also exhibit minting errors, like misaligned dies or weak strikes. Combine that with a two-tone appearance and you're no longer holding a coin. You're holding a financial bombshell. One auction listing for a coin with similar characteristics reported a price tag well beyond $200,000 AUD. Now imagine the scenario. You discover this coin in a forgotten piggy bank, hidden drawer, or passed down in a dusty coin album. You send it for grading, and the results return glowing. Within weeks, private dealers are knocking, collectors are calling, and your mailbox overflows with offers. What was once change is now a billionaire's gateway. This is why we say, don't spend it at any cost. A 1978 2-cent coin with a blackened obverse and standard reverse is so much more than money. It's your chance to change your life. Do not sell it lightly. Do not ignore it. Get it verified. Protect it, because it may never come around again. The future of bronze coinage is sealed. Australia no longer mints them. That makes this coin finite, and like all finite treasures, its value is bound to rise. In a world where digital wealth can vanish overnight, this solid, tangible asset becomes a fortress of fortune. So, to all coin lovers, casual collectors, and everyday Australians, search your coins. Examine your collections. Because if you possess this rare 1978 2-cent piece, you may unknowingly own a coin that rivals the crown jewels in value, a relic that could launch you from modest living into millionaire status. And to those who dismiss the coin's power, let them. Because when your rare 2-cent masterpiece hits the auction block and the bidding surpasses expectations, you'll know the truth. This wasn't just a coin. It was your golden lottery ticket.